Welcome back. I just read a newspaper about the wolf killings, but it seems the police isn't making any headway. And by the way, I do apologize for my German pronunciation. I am, as many of you might know, actually Dutch, not German. And although I did take German in school, I don't remember much of it, so my pronunciation may be wildly off, although it is likely to be closer than most of the other people in this game. Also, I don't understand everything. Basically, I'm just relying on its superficial similarity to Dutch to understand it, as I don't really remember anything from the time I took it in school. Let's see what else is in this room. Some more papers on the table.
Better let Gracie know I'm on a new case.
That's probably a good idea. You may have noticed by now that there is no more narrator in this game. Which I think is a shame, because I like the narrator style better than the characters talking to themselves style. And I also really like the narrator from Gabriel Knight 1. Although I must admit, she would have been incredibly out of place in this game, considering that this game is set entirely in Germany. So it would have been really weird to have a narrator with a heavy Cajun accent. Okay, we wrote a letter to Grace.
My letter to Gracie.
We can't read what it says, though. Why does he address it West Germany? This is 1994, or 5, depending on who you believe. This is 5 years after the wall fell. You would have thought that somebody at Sierra would have noticed that, the Soviet Union collapsed and Germany was reunited. I know it was a small thing and not heavily reported in the news or anything, but they could have done some kind of research. I'm sure if they had really looked closely, somebody would have turned it up. Anything else in this room? Antlers. I wonder if the Hoobers are hunters. Either that or they're friends with Gaston. And a mirror. Now look at my hair. Apparently not. I thought that was Gabriel's favorite hobby. My coat, I guess. And there's another piece of paper here.
Herr Knight, the keys for the car are by the door. It is better not to drive inside Munich. Drive Road 96 to Lockham. Park the car and take the U-Bahn from there. Thank you for helping us. Frau Juba.
It's probably good advice. Rather than trying to have to find a parking space inside Munich, we'll just take the subway. Car keys are by the door. They're actually here underneath the mirror. Hard to spot if it weren't for the fact that the cursor changes when you move over them. Now we have car keys.
Nice of the Ubers to loan me their car.
A rabbit's foot. For good luck, I guess. Hopefully we won't need it. Looking at the key, they have a Volkswagen. Okay, I think that's just about all we can do inside. Let's go outside. Not a bad-looking place, I have to say.
The Ubers have a nice setup here. A bit domesticated for my taste, but nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there, but, spend a weekend or something on a farm is not a bad thing.
The Ubers have a nice setup.
Oh, I thought you could look at the flowers or something.
I suppose that's for tending those window boxes.
I suppose so. Let's see, that's the car.
I was hoping for a Mercedes, but this'll have to do.
And it is indeed a Volkswagen. And I guess that makes sense since we're in Germany. Let's see what's this way. Looks like a barn or shed of some kind.
I could be wrong, but I think this bag contains cement. Now, quick. Quick drying cement? Well, that's useful.
No need to be sarcastic. Yeah, it's not that hard to guess considering the German word for cement is one letter off from the English. And a bucket.
Nothing of interest in there.
I guess we could use a bucket to mix cement, should we need it. Well, of course we could take the car. But let's look around a bit more. After all, the killing did take place right outside the farm, so maybe we can find some clues. Let's see. There's some kind of log thingy here, and we can walk towards the woods. Let's see. Yep, those are the woods alright, we saw in the introduction. Not the prologue, that was much further in the past. But the introduction movie for Chapter 1, we saw the girl in the woods here.
These woods go back a ways. Plenty of space to hide.
Yeah, and with a werewolf on the loose, I don't think I want to go in there. Yes, I know it's broad daylight, but we don't know yet if these wolves obey to the norm of only transforming during a full moon. If so, we'd be safe until the next month, I guess. And look at the ground here. Aha! A tuft of hair! Let's see.
Just looks like reddish hair to me. I'm gonna need help analyzing it.
Yeah, I don't think Gabriel's equipped to check that. Normally would ask Grace for that kind of thing, but I'll have to find someone else. Okay, let's look at that log. Oh, it looks like it's actually some kind of trough.
It's a water trough. Ground's a bit muddy over here.
See what it is. It looks like we can look at the mud. That's a mighty big paw print.
Jesus. It's as big as my hand.
Would be nice if we could take a casting of that. So all we need to do is get our field kit out of the trunk and... Wait. Wrong Sierra sequel. We unfortunately don't have any gypsum or plaster or anything. But we do know where to find some cement. Would be a bit heavy to carry the thing around afterwards, but it'll have to do. Now the trick is... Oh, he's actually using that bucket to mix the cement, rather than the one that's on the floor. One problem with many interactive movies, including this one, is that they have a tendency to show you things in detail that you didn't really need to see in detail. There are many transitional cutscenes, walking from one place to another, putting on your coats, or something like this, but a lot of the others I mentioned will get repeated a lot, which can get annoying after a while. At least they had the common courtesy of not having us put the bucket inside our pocket. Let's make a cast. Or don't, okay? Jeez, do I have to tell you everything?
It'll take a minute to set.
Exactly as we left it. Or, I mean, we're leaving it exactly as we found it. And I do mean exactly. Alright, let's see if it has set by now. Let's take a look.
It's huge. I wish I knew if it were normal or not.
Well, maybe we can let a wolf expert look at it if we find one. Or maybe that labor guy from the police. If we can talk to him. Alright, I think that's just about it for the farm. So it's time to head into Munich. But we'll have to do that in the next video.